Hello, we're Group 9, and today the topic of discussion will be, does information technology make cities a better place to live? With our position being that it does. But first, let's define what a city and what ICT, or Information and Communication Technology, are to better understand how the latter can impact the living conditions in these densely populated areas.
Nice. First, let's establish what a city is. According to Wikipedia, a city is a large human settlement. Cities generally have extensive systems for housing, transportation, sanitation, utilities, land use, and communication. Their density facilitates interaction between people, government organizations, businesses, and sometimes benefiting different parties in the process. In other words, cities are characterized by the communal systems to control resources, energy, but also to provide their citizens with essential services such as healthcare, housing, transportation, and education. They are a complex structure designed to provide a seamless and easy solution at a lower cost to its population by means of doing things on a larger scale.
Again, from Wikipedia, ICT is another term for information technology, which stresses the role of unified communications and the integration of telecommunications, computers as well as necessary enterprise software, middleware, storage, and audiovisual systems, which enable users to access, store, transmit, and manipulate information. It comprises of data storage such as Amazon's large data center, but also provides clients and customers with new ways of understanding and interacting with the collected data, in order to provide insights on issues and help with decision making.
With the impact of fossil energies on global warming well known, the majority of economists, environmentalists, and government officials agree that urban centers should focus on an efficient implementation of renewable energies to lower their carbon footprint. According to the World Bank Group, cities consume as much as 80% of the world's energy and account for half of the greenhouse gas emissions. The International Energy Agency projects that by 2030, cities will account for over 60% of greenhouse gas emissions. A change in focus towards renewable energies would impact not only the quality of life within cities, making them a better place to live, but also for the entirety of the planet Earth.
ICT has had a major role to play in the establishment of new and modern systems to integrate renewable resources in new and major cities. Take, for example, Masdar, a newly built city in the United Arab Emirates. Its main focus is to create a place to live for 40,000 residents, while having a negligible carbon footprint through the use of renewable energy and smart architecturing.
Welcome to Masdar City, the city of possibilities. A daring and evolutionary journey to build the world's most advanced and sustainable community. A city we're shaping with an eye for a better future. It is built using traditional Arabic architecture, combined with modern technology and design. Narrow walkways capture the wind and provide shade, making the perceived temperature 10 degrees cooler in Masdar City than elsewhere in Abu Dhabi, encouraging a healthy and comfortable lifestyle, where everything is within walking distance. The buildings are powered by clean energy, constructed using green building materials and designed to reduce energy and water consumption by 40%. This modern work-life space is made possible by the forward-thinking approach in designing every detail of Masdar City, making it the green print for cities across the world.
ICT can also be used to better monitor existing installations, such as traffic and public transportation. ICT is used to efficiently plan subway and bus schedules to meet the demand while minimizing the use of energy. ICT helps direct public transportation based on real-time demand, moving its fleet of vehicles towards areas with a greater need and reducing the overall number of vehicles on the road while providing the population with an efficient and cost-effective solution.
The president of the Korean Transport Institute, Chang Woon, mentioned that in the last 30 years, ICT drastically improved Korea's transport system, making them safer and more effective. ICT played a critical role converging innovations such as smart monitoring and big data into transport technology, so that people can change their daily trip patterns and travel behavior through smart and green intelligent transport systems.
ICT has revolutionized the way police services operate. It allows for a more analytical and systematic approach to crime prevention. Due to the improvement of ICT, police have access to technology such as fingerprint scanners, voice recognition, CCTV, and forensics.
When these are combined with criminal databases, it makes it significantly more difficult for repeat offenders to commit crimes, as well as assists police in solving any new crimes. In addition to criminal offenses, ICT is used in ensuring driving laws and regulations are adhered to. These are enforced by digital speed cameras monitoring stretches of road 24/7. The cameras are used in order to enforce the speed limit and act as a deterrent to drivers, forcing them to slow down or receive fines and points on their license.
In hospitals, ICT has several uses including assessment, patient monitoring, documentation, telemedicine, and electronic medical records. The use of computers in assessment helps in gathering and storing data about the patient. Computers are used in settings such as emergency, intensive care, ICCU, and NICU for vital sign monitoring, calculations of cardiac output, and even pulmonary artery pressure. This allows for the focus to be solely on the patient and helps in the comparison of a patient's present condition to earlier conditions. Computers are also useful in documenting nurses' observations. Computer programs either offer nurses a library of common phrases they can pick up to describe the patient's condition, or they are offered a series of questions that they answer to describe the patient's condition. There is also documentation on the computer that lists on a patient's discharge sheet all the personnel that worked on their case. In the category of telemedicine, the internet on computers is often used to transfer medical information for consultation, examinations, and even some small medical procedures. Electronic medical records have increased the efficiency of hospitals by making patient information readily available and saving office space for storage of records.
It has also eliminated illegible handwriting, decreases on data entry errors, and automatically connects related records. Through means of security, only authorized individuals have access to medical records. The computer even keeps track of the history of those who have visited certain records. Most significantly, EMR has dramatically reduced the need for paper and storage services.
The world population has grown exponentially at an average rate of 1.2% per year in the last 50 years. In 2007, for the first time ever, the number of people living in cities surpassed the number of people living in rural areas. Furthermore, it is estimated that the proportion will exceed 70% by 2050. According to the UN World Economic and Social Survey for 2013, Africa, Asia, and other developing regions will be housing an estimate of 80% of the world's urban population in the coming years. Rapid urbanization adds pressure to the resource base and increases demand for energy, water, and sanitation, as well as for public services, education, and healthcare. Studies have demonstrated that cities are accountable for 70% of global greenhouse gas emissions, as well as 60 to 80% of global energy consumption. Thus, the challenge for us is to find solutions to the question, how can cities be made smart and sustainable under such underlying conditions?
The answer lies in making cities smarter. Just as the digital age had transformed business and consumer lifestyles, smart cities promise to dramatically alter how public services such as education, healthcare, and entertainment are delivered. At the same time, smart cities can be a trigger for significant economic growth by improving city management, creating new revenue opportunities, and driving efficiencies that result in cost savings. One such method of creating a smart city is to use information technology to make more efficient building systems. By optimizing buildings in the city today, the cost of operation and energy can be reduced along with CO2 emissions, thus protecting the climate. Intelligent, integrated room and building automation controlling heating, ventilation, air conditioning, lighting, and shading has considerable potential for saving energy without compromising comfort. Smart buildings use information technology during operation to connect a variety of subsystems, which typically operate independently, so that these systems can share information to optimize total building performance. Smart buildings look beyond the building equipment within their four walls. They are connected and responsive to the smart power grid, and they interact with building operators and occupants to empower them with new levels of visibility and actionable information.